Hello, my name is Sanita Prajapati. My presentation topic is Introduction and Fundamental Conflict in Scheduling. This is the content that I cover in this presentation. First is what is instruction scheduling? Instruction scheduling is a compiler optimization used to improve instruction level parallelism, which improve performance on machine with instruction pipeline. Put more simply, it tries to do the following without changing the meaning of the code. Avoid pipeline stalls by rearranging the order of instruction. Avoid illegal or semantically ambiguous operation. Typically involves subtle instruction pipeline timing issue or non-interlocked resources. Pipeline stall can be caused by structural hazard, processor resource limited, data hazard, output of the one instruction needed by another instruction, and control hazard, branching. I explain one by one. First is structural hazard. A structural hazard occurs when two or more instructions that are already in pipeline need the same resources. The result is that instruction hazard are sometimes referred to as resource hazard. Example: a situation in which multiple instructions are ready to enter the execute instruction phase and there is a single arithmetic logic unit. One solution is such resource hazard is to increase available resource such as having multiple port into many memory and multiple arithmetic logic unit. Second is control hazard, branch hazard or instruction hazard. Control hazard occur when the pipeline make wrong decision on branch prediction and therefore bring instruction into the pipeline that must subsequently be discarded. The term branch hazard also refers to a control hazard. Last is data hazard. Instruction scheduling is typically done on a single basic block in order to determine whether rearranging the block instruction in a certain way preserve the behavior of that block. There are three types of dependence which also happen to be a three data hazard. First is read after write. I had to try to read a source before I would write to it. Data after write. Data hazard refer to a situation where a instruction refer to a result that has not yet been calculated or retrieved. This can be occur because even though an instruction is executed after a prior instruction, the prior instruction is being processed only partly through the pipeline. For example, the first instruction is calculating a value to be saved in a register 2 and the second is going to use a value to compute the result for the register R4. However, in a pipeline, when operands are fetched for the second operation, the result from the first have not yet been saved and hence the data dependency occur. A data dependency occur with instruction I2 as it depends on the completion of instruction I1. Write after read. I, I2 try to write a destination before it is read by I1. A write after read data hazard represent a problem with concurrent execution. For example, in any situation with a chance that I2 may finish before I1, that is, with concurrent execution, it must be ensured that the result of register R5 is not stored before I1 and has had a chance to fetch the operands. Write after write. I2 tried to write an operand before evolvement. For example, the write back of I2 must be delayed until I1 finish executing. All modern machine architecture have the capability of issuing several instructions on each cycle and thereby have a theoretical capability of achieving a high degree of fine-grained parallelism. Effectively utilize that capability requires that instruction be presented in an order that allow the processor to find and issue those instructions that can be executed in parallel. There are two types of principal impediment to achieving the goal: dependency between instructions that forces a sequential ordering, resource limitation that force serialization of instructions that need the same resources. Goal is the goal of instruction scheduling for uniprocessor is to generate instruction in an order that places dependent instruction far enough apart so that dependence does not cause delay, and and to ensure that as many functional units as possible are busy on each cycle. Most processors that support fine-grained parallelism fall into two categories: superscalar and very large instruction word. Superscalar processor, the most common, have multiple functional units controlled and scheduled by a hardware, which means that the instruction decode unit read a group of instructions, usually a cache word size and on cache word boundaries, at the same time and determine the hazard or dependency between them. Superscalar processors generally provide hazard protection by either installing execution or using register renaming to avoid executing an instruction whose operands are not quite ready. It's fairly easy to see why superscalar execution has been popular, because the instruction unit read existing binaries. A superscalar machine can provide some speed up without the need of recompile. Very long instruction word architecture, in the contrast to superscalar architecture where the bulk of word in place on the hardware designer, VLIW architecture places most of the burden of achieving high performance on the compiler. A VLIW architecture uses a long instruction word that contain a field controlling each available functional unit. With both superscalar and very large instruction word architecture, the key to effective parallelism is order the instruction stream so that as many functional unit has drawback. One of the key popular the instruction scheduling is the very act of creating a sequential stream must consider the available resource and by doing so create some artificial dependence that are present in a higher level competition. Registers are the most common example. One possible instruction stream for the code fragment A equal to B plus C plus D plus E is assuming all the variables are in a register called by a same name. Add A, B, C, add A, A, D, add A, A, E, This instruction stream as written cannot be recorded to take advantage of multiple adder because each instruction depends on the result of the previous one. The dependence are purely artificial, however, and arise because the intermediate result were all accumulated into the same register. If a different register allocation is used, such as add R1 BC R R2 DE add A R1 R2, then the first two addition can be done in parallel. The original instruction stream was designed to minimize the number of registers used. By doing so, it also minimizes the available parallelism. Anti-dependence at this level are all due to the reuse of resources. The previous example illustrates one of the fundamental conflict instruction scheduling, obtaining the original instruction stream. If the original instruction stream takes into account the resource available on the machine registers, then it is probably doing the to introduce artificial dependence based on a resources reuse. And if the original stream does not consider available resource but instead treat them symbolically, then there may not be enough resources in a machine to execute the rescheduling stream correctly. This section presents method for scheduling instruction on a single processor machine that can be issue several instructions on each cycle. Whether a superscalar or very large instruction word, the focus is on arranging the instruction on the object program in such a way as to take maximum advantage of the parallelism in a machine architecture. Parallelism in instruction processing and function execution without compromising the meaning of the program. This is a references that is helped me to make this presentation. Thank you.